Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to build these really awesome glowing orbs that you can then use in a variety of different ways for your cosplay builds. So let's go over the materials. The first thing you're going to need are these plastic fillable ornaments that you can find online. I'm actually using two sizes, the larger being a 4-inch round circle, while the smaller one is a 3.14 inches about, and it's going to be used for things like staffs or maces. In addition to that, you're going to need a small battery light. I particularly like the Amazing Lights E-Light Flow V2 Mini Light, which is programmable. It's for gloves, and I'll link that down below so that you can order those if you'd like. You're also going to need some wire cutters. I've got two different sizes, some scissors, some sticky Velcro, white paint and a paintbrush, a Sharpie, some 2000 grit sandpaper, and some of our bigger pieces as well, a glue gun and an electric foam cutter. Now, because this is quite dangerous, we're going to use it to cut our plastic. I also have a mask on the table that I didn't point at. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is prep our ornaments. We're going to go ahead and use our wire cutters to clip off the little tabs. I'm using the big ones to initially take it off and my smaller ones to clean them up a bit. You don't have to be perfect on this. We're going to be using these orbs for lots of things. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take my 2000 grit sandpaper, and I'm going to go ahead and sandpaper the inside of my orbs. In order to diffuse the light, we need our orbs to not be so clear. And so I'm going around the inside and just sandpapering the inside of these orbs. Now you can see the difference between the clear and the diffused one. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these. Now that all of the orbs are sanded and prepped, I'm going to go ahead and prepare them even further. I'm going to take my white paint and use this piece of sandpaper as my palette, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the inside of my orbs white. Now I want full coverage of the inside. This is to help diffuse the light even more, and you'll see in a second the difference between a sanded piece and the painted piece. It's really going to help make sure that our light doesn't look like a spot inside of your orb. So I'm going to go ahead and take that paint and paint all of the insides of my orb. Again, I want my outside of the orb to be shiny. You can paint the outside if you would like, but I'm going to only paint the inside. I'm also using a swirl motion because I want my magical orbs to look a little bit more magical, but you can paint whatever kind of pattern you'd like. In addition to that, I'm using a multicolored programmable light, and so I'm using white paint because I'd like my orbs to be magical and have the lights come out. If you are using a white light or a blue light and you know that you want it to be a certain color, you can paint these whatever color you would like. So now all of them are painted. As you can see, you can put them together and it's going to look like a full orb. As my orbs dried, I went ahead and cut some of my sticky Velcro to size. I'm using two pieces of the fabric side of the Velcro as my base for my items, and I've taken the rough side of the Velcro and attached it to my mini light. And I've cut that down to size because I don't want the sticky pieces sticking out from the ends of it. So because that's prepared, we're going to get started on the full-on project. We're going to start with the larger orb, which is going to serve as a prop that you can use perhaps in images that you're making, photo shoots, to be held in the hand. Now this one's super easy. You're going to take your piece of Velcro and we're going to stick it to the inside of our orb. I like to put it right at the base of where the line is because that's usually where you're going to hold it. Turn on your light, put it inside, and there you go. You've got yourself a glowing orb prop to be used in photos. So let's go ahead and work on the smaller orb. I'm going to go ahead and use this as if I'm going to be putting it on the end of a staff or a magical wand, and I'm going to use this piece of spare wood dowel that I have in my garage. I'm going to attach the Velcro to the actual staff or wand because I want the light to be releasable on the outside of the globe. Now I'm going to measure where exactly I want my hole because we want the light to go into the globe and to be diffused while still being attached to the staff. So I'm using my Sharpie to sort of map out how I want that hole to look. This might take a couple tries, so it's good because usually these orbs come, or the ornaments come in large packets. So now I'm going to be using my foam cutter to cut my plastic. Foam cutters are very dangerous, so you really want to be prepared to use them. In addition to that, it's really bad to breathe in plastic, so I'm using an N95 mask to protect myself. Make sure that you use appropriate protection when using your foam cutter, even if you're just cutting foam, even though I'm cutting the plastic. Now I've turned it on, and I usually use the edge of my base to make sure that I've kind of removed any excess plastic that's on my foam cutter. That's why you can see all that smoke. Good thing I have this terrible workbench that I'm allowed to do that on. So I'm going to make 2 holes at the edges of my corners first, and then I'm going to take the foam cutter and connect all of that through very carefully. Again, you want to be really careful with this. Don't let it touch your fingers. And like I said, you want to wear a mask because breathing in plastic is not a good thing. So I've cut my hole, everything's looking good. I immediately turn off my foam cutter so it's not continuing to heat up. And I'm using my really small wire cutters to just clean up the hole. And now I've got a nice hole for my orb. So now that we have all the pieces together for our wizard staff or magic wand or whatever, I'm going to go ahead and get my glue gun ready, attach my light, and measure out how the light goes into my orb. This is so I can make sure of where I need to glue the orb to our staff. I'm using my Sharpie again to just make a couple little marks so I know exactly where to put the glue. So I'm going to go ahead and use that hot glue. Make sure you're using the low setting here so that you don't melt your plastic. And then, once that's done, you can actually take, if you're making an actual prop with this, take some glue with the glue gun and go around the edges to really secure that orb to your staff. But now you're done. All you have to do is turn on your light, attach it to your staff, and you've created a magical staff. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe down below.